Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought today I'll take an evening stroll around the local area. Take an evening, nighttime stroll around the local area. I was just talking to a chap and he was telling me they're building this big building they've constructed. They're building a new nursing home. I said, wow. I said, good on him. It's a big job. But he said for his company, it's a small job. Even though it's a big building, he said for their company, it's a small job. So it's good to know what's going on in the local area. So we're just taking a few steps to get that cardiovascular. It's good when you go on those walks. It builds up your cardiovascular motion, gets the heart pumping, keeps you fit. So I'm currently on quite a busy road, walking up there. I'm on quite a busy road, but it's about a mile long. Well, this section of the road is at least a mile long, and of course, another thing is it's on an incline. So when you're walking this way, you're walking uphill. But again, you do those extra steps in and you build that extra stamina. Up. I can see quite a bit of building work there's always building work going on. People are constantly extending their houses. They're constantly extending. People are never happy. They always want more and more. That's life in general. So this, for those of you who follow me from abroad, this is the UK. This is the UK. This is the kind of architecture we have around here. We have all sorts of architecture actually. We have all sorts of architecture. These are typical British homes. And normally our homes, they're made of brick, small bricks. That's a normal build. Unlike in the States, where you get a lot of wood used. We use more small bricks. And in the Caribbean, they use kind of they use concrete but larger blocks to build the walls. So we use these really small, tight bricks, but it's supposed to be very strong. Very strong, and houses in the UK last 100 years, some even longer. We still got buildings which were built in the 1800s standing. And even longer, if you look at some of the old historical churches, they were built even longer than that. So lots of history. So now we're walking more uphill now. And this is when you really have to have the stamina. When I first moved into the area, walking up this road, I would be panting because I wasn't used to walking these large blocks. But now I take it in my stride. More building work being done there. Another English house, English houses. Rather large houses, those ones. And these windows are kind of Georgian, what we call Georgian windows. Georgian. So you see, everybody has something different. Mind you, from where you are, depending on what part of the world you are from, you may look at these buildings and think, gosh, these buildings all look the same. Here is one house I've been seeing being built for the last couple of years actually, and they've really extended it, but I've seen that built for the last couple of years. Still hasn't finished, but they've really been taking their time doing that particular house. So we're still walking uphill. We're still walking uphill, taking it all in, the evening ambience. The weather across here is really lovely. It's about 20 degrees now. We're slightly warmer earlier. It was warmer earlier. But it's a bit cooler now. It's nice. It's a nice temperature to walk. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. It's just right. And again, as I said, it's really good to get those steps in. Can't think of anything which has happened in the news today. I know there's a guy, I was in Birmingham, there's an area called Birmingham, the West Midlands. In the West Midlands, I'm in the East Midlands, but in the West Midlands, a guy was mauled to death in his garden by 3 dogs. Now they're not, I don't think they're bullet terriers, XL bullies, but some kind of powerful dog. And 3 of them actually got loose. And the police were looking for them. They said the dogs had actually escaped the house, but they mauled a man to death in his own back garden. How crazy is that? Imagine being in your own back garden, your place of sanctuary, and someone or some dogs, could have even been his own dogs, I'm not sure. I'll have to investigate further and listen to the news to see. They only gave limited information, but it didn't say whether it was his dogs. They didn't say whether it was his dogs. So that's something I've got to look up. I've got to look up and find out if it was his dogs. But that's a terrible way to go, isn't it? Even if it was his dogs. It's just a terrible way to go. I think he's middle-aged. I think he's a middle-aged man in his 50s. But that's a terrible way to go. But you never know when your time is, but that is a terrible way to go. So I'm still walking uphill, but soon I will come to a downhill part. The part of the country I'm in is the East Midlands, and we have a lot of hills. A lot of hills. So if you do want to walk the local block, well, it depends on your local block, but my block is a big block, and I'm doing the even bigger walk to get those steps in. So I was just going to do a mile, but I'm going to do a couple of miles now. I'm going to do a couple of miles. It's again, slightly different architecture, but again, to some people, living out of England, you may think, it all looks pretty similar. Yeah, you may think it all looks pretty similar. So I could walk on a quiet road, but I've decided, you know what? It's a slightly smaller structure, smaller building. This one was for sale for a long while because it needs work. There is a few people out. There's still a few people out. And we shall continue with our walk. I'm going to do the big block actually. I'm going to do the big block. You know, sometimes you do the small block and think, you know what? You get lazy and you think, nah, don't push yourself. But you know what? I'm going to really stretch it and go and do the big block. Do the big block. You see, there's still people going home or going wherever they're going. You know, they're playing music from their cars. You know? But I'm going to continue doing the big block. This is one of our bus stops. That's a typical UK bus stop. Well, typical bus stop we have in our area. I thought I felt a little bit of drizzle. Maybe not. Maybe it's my imagination. Either way, I've got my hats on, my hoodie on, so it's not to say my head is gonna get wet, but it is a fine evening. It really is a fine evening to go for that walk. So I am gonna actually continue that walk around the block, the big block. I could even go even an even bigger block, but I'll leave that for another day. The bigger block would take me to the shops. You'd get across to the shops. Let's see what kind of shops we've got. But I shall leave that for another day. And now I'm going downhill. I'm not sure if any of you watched the Olympics. It's something I enjoyed watching actually, because there's a small Caribbean island, a very small Caribbean island, only got 180,000 people, and they got a gold medal. Somebody's here jogging up the road, but they got a gold medal. They got a gold medal in the 100 meters. Her name is Julian Alfred, 22. She is the world indoor 60-meter champion now, and the Olympic 100-meter sprint champion. Now that is a big achievement, because it's not only the first Olympic medal the island, St. Lucia, has ever earned. It's not only the first medal they have ever earned, but it is also a gold medal. A gold medal. The first medal they've ever won was a gold medal in the 100. Come on, wow. First Olympic medal ever in any event is 100, and the prize 100 meters. Then she went on to get the silver medal in the 200 meters. Wow, 200, second in the 200. So gold in the 100, and she got silver in the 200. Now that's a big achievement. That is a big achievement from Julian Alfred. And of course, she is much appreciated by the St. Lucians around the globe. I think she's appreciated by not just St. Lucians, by Caribbean people all over the globe, because normally that Jamaicans have been representing for these past quite a few years now. Come on, for a long time, it's either America or Jamaica which has been dominating. Before, you had Asafa Powell. You can't forget Asafa Powell. Then Usain Bolt, he kind of came and took over. You had the spell, should I say, you had the spell of Merlin Ottey. But before, you had Merlin Ottey, then you've had a long period of Shelley Ann Fraser-Pryce. And there's a few more who've been in the mix. Jamaica has produced some really fine sprinters, some fine world champions, and they brought a lot of flair and charisma to the sport. In fact, they've kind of revived track and field, they revived it. And to say Julian Alfred from such a small island has overtaken and taken that mantle, wow, that's an achievement. That is an achievement. She came first. And is there Sha'Carri Richardson from America? She came second. She was expected to win, actually. She was the hot favourite to win. But Julian Alfred, she done her stuff. And she became the Olympic champion, to much jubilation in the island of St. Lucia, celebrating like crazy. They were celebrating like crazy. So again, different types of architectures of houses. And continuing the walk. Don't know about you, but we were always kind of superstitious and we don't talk past these trees, so I'm not going to talk past a monkey tree. So now we've got into a more quiet road. A quiet UK road. Good to get away from the noisy traffic roads, isn't it? So this is Walking the Block at Night Part 2. I did one before, but I remember I went to the local shops and I bought something. I even went in the store, if I remember right. I'll have to actually look back, but that was a few months ago, if I remember right, correctly. So we got this church on this road. I must say, at night it looks spooky, doesn't it? It looks spooky. Imagine having a church on your road. Now again, this part of the road, I have to walk uphill again. I've got to walk uphill again. But hey ho, so it goes. Hopefully at my age, it's building up my stamina and keeping me fit. I know some people say, but why are you walking that big block at this time? Do something easier. Get on the exercise bike. And I've got an exercise bike. But when it comes to getting cardiovascular and getting in the fresh air, I prefer to walk. So yes, sometimes I will sit on the bike for 20 minutes, but it's nothing like doing a brisk walk. A brisk, mile or two walk around the block. So yeah, this is another uphill section I'm going. And again, you see different styles of architecture. There's actually someone else doing a power walk in front of me. But now when it's going uphill, I just take my time. I'm not going to stress myself. I'm going to take going up this hill part in my stride. When I first came here, I used to do these walks, especially going uphill, and I'll be panting and but now, I don't know, my body's adjusted. I suppose after 3 years, your body adjusts, doesn't it? My calves have definitely grown. They're definitely gone very muscular. I also sometimes go into the Peak District and walk around there. You see the mountains, you see the cows, you see lots of sheep. Had to take a breath. Wow. Had to take a deep breath in, because I've just got to the top part of the hill. Reminds me of that nursery rhyme. Jack and Jill went to the top of the hill. I remember a lot of the old nursery rhymes. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pilgrim boat. They took some money and plenty of honey wrapped up in a £5 note. Do you remember those nursery rhymes you had to learn at school? You had to learn the nursery rhymes. Nursery rhymes and hymns. So we're still continuing with the walk. The evening walk. And I feel I've had enough steps in now. I know I would have got enough steps in today. And now I'm going downhill. It's much easier. I feel as though I could sprint, actually. I feel like as though I could start jogging. Should I start jogging? Nah. No jogging right now. I'm gonna just continue enjoying my walk. Get in, have a nice cup of, or what, have a cup of tea, cup of hot chocolate, or just drink some water. I don't drink as much water as I should. That's one thing for sure. I don't drink as much water as I should. So we shall continue this walk. Yeah, we shall continue the walk. There's still people out and about. There's still people walking out and about. You think everybody would be inside, but no. I've seen lots of other people walking and chatting and doing what they're doing. So this is a typical evening walk. And wherever you are in the world, I know I've got some of you watching from the Caribbean. I know I've got some people living in Africa. Some people in Europe. I know some of you are from Asia. Of course, some from America. And can't forget the people who watch from the UK. I know there's a few of you who watch from the UK too. So I hope you're all doing something edifying, something you are enjoying. Whether it's just relaxing in front of the TV, whether you're going for a walk too, whether you're talking with friends, whatever you're doing, enjoy. I don't know, I'm going to say enjoy the evening, but you could be in a part of the world where it's still daytime. So whatever you're doing, enjoy the day, enjoy the evening, enjoy the night. As for me, I am going to sign off. And all I've got to say is thank you for watching up to this point. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, of course you should subscribe to the channel. I sometimes go to some interesting places and you get to keep up with where I'm going. So I try to visit lots of different places in the UK and post them on my channel. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the videos. And of course, the only thing I've got to say now is see you in the next video.